Assalamu alaikum. The title of our lesson is Signs of Chemical Reaction. Before you start, I need you please to read and follow these instructions. At the end of this video, you will be able to recognize the signs of chemical reaction. We said in the previous videos that we have two types of transformations. We have the chemical transformation that produces a new substance and the physical transformation that changes only the physical properties of the substance. And also we said that chemical transformation is also called a chemical reaction. And in a chemical reaction, we have two types of substances. The reactants, that are the substances at the beginning of the chemical reaction, and the products are the substances produced during a reaction. But how could we know that there is a chemical reaction? Well, there are 4 signs or evidences of a chemical reaction. Now, let's discover the first sign. Now, I want you to see what will happen in this beaker. We add the first reactant, which is colorless. But when we add the second reactant, we recognize that the color changed from colorless to red color. This is what we call by change in color. So, sign 1 is change of color. Now, let's see a real example about this sign. So, as you can see, when we mix potassium iodide with lead nitrate, which are the reactants in this chemical reaction, the color changes into yellow. Now, let's discover sign 2. I want you to see what will happen in this beaker. We put reactant 1 in the beaker, and then we add reactant 2. As you can see, there is a substance settling down at the bottom of this beaker. This substance is called precipitate. So, the second sign of this chemical reaction is called formation of precipitate. Now, I want you to see a real example about formation of precipitate. Do you want to know the third sign of a chemical reaction? Let's discover it together. In this time also, I want you to see what will happen in this beaker. We add reactant 1, and then we add reactant 2. As you can see, there are bubbles formed in this beaker. What do we mean by bubbles? Bubbles means presence of gas, which is a new substance. So, the third sign of a chemical reaction is release of gas. Let's see this reaction that releases gas. We still have the fourth sign of a chemical reaction. Step 1. We add water to the test tube, which is the first reactant. And then touch the test tube with your finger. It has a normal temperature. Step 2. Add some calcium oxide, which is reactant 2, and shake. Now, touch the bottom of the test tube again. Well, it's hot. So, test tube changes from cold to hot, which means that the temperature increases. So, in a chemical reaction, the temperature might increases or decreases. In this case, the fourth sign would be exchange of energy. Fire is an example about a chemical reaction that releases heat energy. As a summary, the signs of chemical reactions are change of color, formation of precipitate, release of gas, and release or exchange of energy.